Zombie. Number one zombie for a time. Wonder if these guys can heal. I hope so for their sake. So yeah, in the story, essentially the Ghost team and the Cyclops team escaped Earth in the HLVs and essentially were able to get to safety via their mobile suits, and from there they essentially started moving with the defense of all these pods that you see floating around. Like, those are just full of Zeon, like, people, resources, mobile suits, like, then they're just completely defenseless. So yeah, they're basically here to just help out. I'll be real bummed if these guys start dying, because I know they start throwing GMs at us. And Zaku 1 does not compete with the GM. Dislike this video if you think that a Zaku 1 could beat a GM, and don't you say, oh well, anyone can win if it's the right pilot, because, you know, we're looking at general stats, man. Or woman, depending on the gender of the viewer. Speaking of cool, like, female protagonists, Monique Cadillac, the character that is in this Zuda right here, is actually one of my favorites. And you're gonna say, Doug, you say that about, like, all the characters, and I'm gonna say, no, I don't. This is the first episode, or maybe the second one. It's the first time I've ever recorded that you know of. So, you think you know more than me? Fuck you. I'm just kidding. I hope your night's going as well as mine is. It's nice and chilly outside. The cat's chilling by the fan because he's almost as lazy as I. Nope, he's on my keyboard. Nope, he's ruining my keyboard. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Go, Gerhardt, go. Don't get shot down again. Please. Strike true. Yeah. I am proud of you. pretty sure that's all I can do. Yeah, that's all I will do anyways. Whoa. It's time to learn, motherfuckers. It's a historical moment. Like when all these people die. Oh, I remember now. I am ill-equipped to fight these guys at the moment. It's cool that, like, at this point in the war, though, like, the Federation didn't have very many mobile suits, and when they did, like, they couldn't really do much with it. Because there weren't too many. Still, I am a huge fan of the GMs. See you later, Lieutenant Commander. Thanks for bailing on all of us. Oh, GM early types suck. Like, all they have is a bolt-up machine gun. There's no, like, way to defend or anything. No wonder Sanders lost his entire squad. Screw it. Probably gonna miss. These won't. Oh. Oh. Very curious. It's like I can only move the ship south and deal with that threat, or I can... I don't know how I'm going to do this. You can normally deploy 2 teams, but it's pretty much too easy if you do that, so I've only been deploying 1. Or not 2 teams, 2 different ships, so like a total of 9 units instead of a total of 18. So... But luckily I got some good battle-hardened veterans. So yeah, Ben Pyle is Bernie Wiseman. Shane Liebler is Abram Razat, and then Gerhard Schutt is himself. Oh, and then Jake Goons or whatever is my good friend Jordan. Oh, this was a mistake. There's only 1 mobile suit left in the area. But yeah, a lot of people have been asking me about this game, like where they can buy it and stuff like that. I ended up getting it from, now I think about it, I ended up getting it through a site called playasia.com. They sold the Singapore version of this game. That's the only way that you can, I think it's either the Singapore or the Chinese version, but like when you get the Japanese version, it's all in Japanese, whereas they actually took the time to translate it into English so they could get around copyright laws. One of the issues that they always had to bump into was essentially all of, I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. Like there's a game that I play that's another Gundam game called, it was Dynasty Warriors Gundam. 3 for the Xbox, and it was really, really cool. But before it came out, I watched a lot of gameplay videos and stuff like that of the early release in Japan, and it was really cool because the Japanese version of the game had all the music and songs from like the series, and it was really, really cool. And then when I got it for like the North American release for it, they took out like all of the copyrighted songs, and it was almost like a shell of the game. Like, it was, I guess, still the same game, but like it was really crummy that like you essentially paid the same amount for a product but only got like 60% of like the overall features. But I'm not gonna complain too much because, like I said, now they're finding ways to get around that by essentially releasing it in China or Singapore, and then people just import it from there. Like, they're actually coming out with a new Gundam Versus game that's going to be localized in North America, and I'm still not sure if I'm going to get the North American version or if I'm going to get the Singapore version, because if it's cutting out some of the soundtrack, it's definitely going to be the Singapore version. But I'm still kind of grumpy that that game doesn't have like co-op on it. Like the PS3 version had split screen co-op, and like that stuff was fun. Like, me and my friend Alex played that game all the time, and it was a great team-based like co-op game. But like nowadays, the new one coming out, I guess it's not really the same thing, because hopefully my friends will actually get it so I could always play it online, because they're doing 3v3 co-op in the new one, which is awesome. But yeah, it's kind of a bummer that there's not going to be any local co-op for it. Subscribe if you like how I complain about things that you don't understand too well. Yeah, okay. Things down. Go, Gerhardt, go! Seriously, if you blow this, I will be... Yeah, okay. Never mind. I am upset. I gave you a shiny Rick Dom. And this is what you do to repay me? I'm just gonna put your wife in here next time, see if she's a better pilot. She's a better artist than I am, so, I mean, maybe she's a better pilot than I am. Actually, I don't know if she's a better artist than me, because we've never really gone toe-to-toe in an art-off. So, I'm challenging her, and if you got a problem with that, then deal. I'm sorry if I'm just rambling too much, I don't really know what to say. Like, Gundam's a really obscure game series, and I've never actually, successfully anyways, recorded by myself, so... Didn't know they could hit. Okay. I'm just gonna have them form a nice defensive perimeter. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait until they hit our lines. I usually play defensively on hard mode. Don't be a dick. Oh, okay. I can take at least a wave of hits. I really like the, I'm trying to remember what these are even called. Yeah, saberfish, that's what they are. I remember they have the jet boosters and the jet interceptors. Like, they have a lot of different Federation fighters in this one, which is really cool. But, yeah, the saberfish are one of my favorite. When I actually started playing this game and made myself as a custom character, that was the first unit I was in, was a saberfish fighter. I was gonna put my friend Sophie in there, but that was like guaranteed death sentence. These things are made out of balsa wood. Oh. Yeah, these saberfish are surprisingly effective. Very evasive as well. I'm actually in a little bit of a pickle at the moment because I think these guys might be able to overwhelm me. Especially since most of these guys are going to have to go heal. This wouldn't have happened if my friend Jordan wasn't still, like, on his deathbed. Do autocannon's way weaker, so I should probably try to rely on those for soaking hits anyways. There we go. Yeah, he'll be okay. Actually, that was dumb. Alright. I feel bad for that Dom all the way up there. I think that's still Gerhardt. He deserves better, I tells you. One of the other reasons I really like the Federation over the Zeon is the Zeon have like some of the worst like naming like setups in the entire like canon. Like for example, the Bro, and then I think there's another one called like the Big Rough or something like that. There's like Gogs and High Gogs. Like there's so many different like variants. It's always something new. Those damn Zeon. Always threatening my way of life. It's kind of sad some of the pilots on my Federation team are scheduled to be in balls once the Federation gets back up into space, or at least those teams do. Oof, somebody got a crit. It's probably Casey. Yeah. Go figure. Like a highly decorated member of the team. Just wait until he gets the Element mobile armor. That's when the whole world's gonna get wet. Whatever, we'll see if it works. It's actually kind of nice that they don't like choose to evade. Yeah. Good old Jake. El Scudder Majestico. You know what? I don't want him to die again. Or at least get shot down again.